From the beginning of your journey, you realized that things were never easy. While others seemed to prosper early, you found yourself stuck in waiting, delays, and doors that simply would not open. You prayed, you believed, and yet God seemed to deny certain paths. But what few understand is that God's denials are never punishments. They are divine protections. Before the age of 40, the chosen ones go through an intense process of refinement. God denies access, opportunities, and even people. Not because you are unworthy, but because you are still being prepared for something much greater. He knows that haste can destroy what time perfects, and that's why he holds you back, even when you want to run. What you call delay, God calls maturation. He does not want your blessing to arrive before your foundation is ready. What seems like loss is actually preservation. He denies you the stage before grounding your roots, denies you wealth before building character, and withholds answers so you can learn to trust the unseen. Everything God has denied you until now is part of the plan. He hasn't taken anything from you. He has simply saved it for the right time. And when that time comes, you will understand every no as an act of love. I am George, and this channel was created for people like you, the chosen ones being shaped by God. If this message spoke to your heart, follow the channel and walk with me on this journey of purpose and spiritual revelation. Before understanding what God does, it's necessary to understand why. Many chosen ones spend much of their lives wondering why things seem to move so slowly. Why, while others achieve success, they face long waits, interrupted paths, and dreams that take time to blossom. The truth is that God works at a different pace with those He has called for something greater. The process of the chosen is different because their purpose is eternal. God isn't just building a material future. He is shaping an essence. Before the age of 40, the chosen one goes through a period of intense spiritual refinement. It's when God denies what the world calls achievement to give something the world cannot understand: wisdom, discernment, faith, and depth. Every no you've heard up to this point was, in truth, a not yet. Every closed door wasn't rejection, but protection. God knows what you're not yet ready to sustain. He doesn't want to see you rise too soon, only to collapse shortly after. He's strengthening the pillars of your soul so that when the blessing comes, it will last, grow, and glorify His name. The season of anonymity is the field where He teaches you the value of silence. It's there that you learn not to react to the world's hurry. While many seek the spotlight, God hides you. Not out of forgetfulness, but out of care. He doesn't want your voice to echo before your spirit is stable. He doesn't want you to speak of victories you haven't yet learned to sustain. God's denials are the ground of maturity. It's there that pride dies, ego is silenced, and faith is strengthened. He denies you to free you from illusions, holds you back to teach you patience, and delays you to prepare you. Because what is being built within you is not temporary, it is immortal. God knows that the chosen ones were not made for small victories. You weren't born for the ordinary, but for the extraordinary. And the extraordinary requires spiritual structure. He denies you things that would bring instant pleasure but steal the depth of your purpose. He stops you from arriving too soon, in places you wouldn't yet know how to sustain. When God closes doors, it's not because He doesn't want to see you grow. It's because He wants to see you remain. And what lasts must first be purified before being exalted. That's why the process is longer, quieter, and sometimes more painful. But it's in that silence that He speaks the loudest. If you feel like you're being held back, don't despair. God's timing is never wasted. Every second of waiting is shaping you for something human eyes can't yet see. You're in a sacred stage where delay is the miracle itself in progress. God's denials don't diminish you, they define you. They show that he considers you strong enough to endure the weight, faithful enough to trust the unseen, and valuable enough not to be handed to just any destiny. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And when the time of revelation comes, everything he denied will be returned to you double, with purpose, stability, and glory. What seemed like delay was merely heaven's clock aligning with the time of your victory. Few understand how hard it is to carry a calling and yet live hidden. The chosen one feels within that they were born for something great, feels the voice of God whispering purpose, feels the light burning in their chest. But the world seems blind to it. Others are seen, applauded, recognized. You, however, are kept in silence, almost invisible. But God does not hide you out of cruelty. He protects you from being revealed before the right time. Fame without foundation destroys. Brilliance without character fades quickly. And what heaven most desires is for your name to be sustained by truth, not by haste. Anonymity is the cocoon of the chosen ones. It is there that God teaches you to become unshakable. While the world displays itself, he teaches you to observe. While others speak too much, he teaches you to listen. He is refining your voice, cleansing your heart, and shaping your faith. If he were to place you under the spotlight now, the light could blind you. Spiritual maturity is necessary to carry visibility without losing yourself. God knows that fame has a price. It reveals what character hides. That's why he makes you walk slowly. Learn humility, respect time, and understand that true success is not being known by the world, but being recognized by heaven. Many who rushed, shone early, and faded quickly. You, on the other hand, are being prepared to shine permanently. And when your time comes, your presence will need no promotion. It will carry authority. People will not follow you for appearance, but for impact. The delay in being seen is God's way of teaching you to remain pure. When the world's eyes finally turn toward you, he wants your influence to heal, not corrupt. Your words to set free, not distract. Your presence to transform, not divide. He denies you the stage early because he wants your message to outlive applause. He holds back the spotlight until your heart learns to serve before being served. And when your time of revelation comes, it will not be fame. It will be purpose in action. Remember, the true light of the chosen is not reflected in spotlights, but in transformed lives. God did not prepare you to be popular. He prepared you to be eternal. Anonymity is the shield of the promise. It covers you until you are ready to carry the weight of what you've asked for. And when God decides to reveal you, the world will understand it wasn't luck. It was the perfect timing of divine will. To human eyes, lack seems like injustice. You work, pray, strive, yet the results don't appear. While others prosper easily, you have to fight for every achievement. This is not divine forgetfulness. It's protection. God doesn't want money to rule you. He wants wealth to arrive when your heart is ready to handle it. The chosen one goes through seasons of scarcity because they are being taught to trust. When abundance comes before mature faith, it becomes a trap. Money that comes too soon can feed the ego and distance you from your purpose. God knows this and delays what the world would call success. He doesn't deny you, he prepares you. Scarcity develops responsibility. When everything seems to lack, you learn the true value of provision. You learn not to waste, to be grateful for the little, and to depend less on effort and more on grace. God teaches you that to prosper is not merely to accumulate, but to multiply what comes from his hands, with purpose and wisdom. Financial delay teaches you to see what truly has value. While the world chases luxury, you learn to recognize the wealth of a peaceful mind, a living faith, and a grateful heart. When money comes, it will not corrupt you. It will serve the purpose that moves you. God makes you walk through deserts to show you that He is your source. On the day gold arrives, you won't take pride in effort, but in faithfulness. Every penny will be used with discernment because you will know the weight of waiting. Financial maturity is what sustains lasting blessing. Those who prosper without preparation easily lose themselves, but you are not like everyone else. Heaven chose you to manage not just possessions, but meanings. The wealth of the chosen is not for display. It's for transformation. It's a divine tool for sowing light where the world has planted pain. That is the true purpose of your delay. God holds back abundance so that it comes accompanied by wisdom. He teaches you that money doesn't define who you are. Character does. And when it finally arrives, you won't use prosperity to prove your worth, but to fulfill your mission. That is the difference between the chosen and the ordinary. The wealth God has promised you is not temporary. It is an eternal inheritance built on faith, humility, and generosity. He delays it because He wants you to be whole when it arrives. When it comes, it will not bind you. It will set you free. You were created to prosper with purpose, not to lose yourself in meaningless abundance. The time of your harvest will come, and when it does, it will be complete. No effort will be forgotten. No tear will be in vain. God has not failed you. He has taught you the value of every blessing. He denied you excess to teach you essence. And when you receive, you will know every moment of waiting was worth it. The chosen ones know well the weight of solitude. They love deeply, but are often left aside. People drift away, connections break, and the heart feels weary. What you don't realize is that God is filtering your bonds. He doesn't want you to waste time with those who are not equipped to walk beside you. Not every tie is a blessing. Some people come to test you, others to distract you. God cuts early what could delay you. He removes friendships that drain your energy, loves that wound you, and bonds that confuse you. The separation is painful, but it's part of the spiritual protection of those called to something greater. The chosen one was not born for the shallow. Their soul longs for depth. They need connections that understand them spiritually, not just emotionally. That's why fleeting relationships don't last. God is teaching you that not every affection is care, and not every love is true. There are embraces that imprison more than they protect. When He leaves you alone, it's because He wants to heal you from emotional dependencies. He wants you to feel complete in Him before sharing your life with anyone else. Solitude is the soil where true love will be planted. While you cry for those who left, heaven celebrates because it delivered you from something that would have destroyed you. God denies superficial relationships because He wants to teach you to recognize what is sacred. He wants to surround you with people who uplift you, who help you grow, and who walk with you in truth. He doesn't want you to live by convenience, but through purposeful connections. That's why He cuts things off before you get comfortable with what is wrong. One day, you will understand that every loss was deliverance, that every broken friendship made space for genuine alliances, that every silence was an answer. God is preparing you for relationships that reflect heaven, not chaos. People who pray with you, who inspire you, and who strengthen you instead of draining you. The love of the chosen is not ordinary, it is spiritual. And because it is rare, it requires time. God will not give you a relationship just to fill a void. He will give you a bond that heals wounds. The right love comes when you're ready to love, without losing yourself. And that time is closer than you think. Every moment of solitude had a purpose. God used isolation to teach you self-sufficiency and faith. He showed you that you don't need a crowd to feel whole. When love arrives, it won't be confusing. It will bring peace, lightness, and reciprocity. And you will know, this one came from God, not by chance. Most people seek a quiet, predictable life without great challenges. But for the chosen ones, the path is never simple. God doesn't allow the road to be straight, because the mission He entrusted to you requires strength. Comfort wouldn't teach you anything. What's easy wouldn't shape your character or awaken your faith. God uses difficulties to strengthen your shoulders and expand your vision. Each obstacle is a lesson, each disappointment a tool for growth. What seems like punishment is training. He wants you to learn to walk by faith, even when you don't understand the direction. True trust is born when everything falls apart and you still believe. The path of the chosen is full of curves and detours, because it's there that they learn to listen. In the desert, silence speaks. In the cold of uncertainty, divine presence brings warmth. God denies the easy path because He knows shortcuts steal maturity. What comes quickly is easily lost, but what is forged through pain endures. The storms that hit you are not meant to destroy you, but to reveal what's inside you. When everything collapses, you discover strength you never imagined you had. It's in the valley that you learn to depend on heaven, not the world. Each fall brings you closer to your essence and to the voice of the one who called you. While many give up, you keep going. While others complain, you learn. What sets you apart is not what you face, but what you do with what you face. God makes you walk on difficult ground to teach you to stand firm, even when there's no solid ground beneath you. He denies you what's easy to teach you what's possible. The chosen are not spared from pain, but are strengthened by it. They discover that resilience is born from faith, and purpose grows from wounds. Suffering is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of refinement. Every tear shed turns into wisdom. And that wisdom is what makes you unshakable in the face of the future. God doesn't want you to arrive quickly. He wants you to arrive prepared. He knows that success without structure is dangerous. That's why He trains you amid adversity. He transforms the weight of your battles into spiritual power. When the world thinks you're tired, you'll be ready. And when you think it's over, God will begin something new. The easy path may seem tempting, but it doesn't lead to deep places. God denies fleeting lightness to give you lasting strength. He wants your faith not to depend on circumstances, your courage not to depend on results. The easy ends quickly. What comes from God endures. And what endures is always the fruit of overcoming. One day, you'll look back and see that every difficult step brought you closer to the promise. Nothing was in vain. What seemed like a delay was heaven's perfect plan. The crooked path was the road of revelation, and when the right time comes, you will understand that the hard road was what prepared you for the eternal. The awakening at 40, the time of revelation. There comes a moment when God's silence turns into an answer. For the chosen ones, this moment usually arrives around the age of 40, the phase when what once seemed like denial finally reveals its purpose. It's no coincidence. It is the time of revelation, when everything that was hidden begins to blossom before the eyes of the Spirit. For years, you may have felt trapped in endless cycles. You tried, prayed, believed, and still, things seemed not to move. But God was never inactive. He was building something invisible. Before 40, the chosen live in the time of preparation. Afterwards comes the time of manifestation. What was once waiting now becomes fulfillment. This awakening isn't just external, it's internal. Something shifts within the heart. The doubts that once consumed you dissolve, and new clarity arises. You begin to understand the reason for the delays, the meaning of the losses, the logic behind the chaos. What once hurt now makes sense. Pain turns into wisdom. God has hidden you until now because He's been shaping your inner self. Before 40, Most people live seeking validation, recognition, stability. But the chosen cannot be revealed too soon. They must be matured in silence, tested in the desert, and strengthened through storms. Because when the time of revelation comes, nothing and no one can extinguish what God has ignited. At 40, something awakens. It's as if the pieces finally fit together. You realize that nothing was wasted. That the no's were protection, that the closed doors redirected you, and that every tear watered the soil of your faith. Everything that seemed like delay now reveals itself as construction. What was once confusion becomes clarity. This phase is not marked by hurry, but by conviction. You no longer seek to prove anything to anyone. You discover that true power is found in serenity, in the calm voice that comes from the Spirit, not in the noise of haste. The awakening at 40 is when you finally understand that to live is to serve. And to serve is the greatest sign of greatness. God brought you to the edge to teach you to depend on Him. Before, you thought you needed to understand everything. Now, you simply trust. This is true spiritual maturity, to walk without a map but with faith, to wait without despair but with hope. At 40, faith stops being theory and becomes breath. The mind becomes lighter, the heart more grateful, and the spirit more aware. What once wounded you now strengthens you. What once knocked you down now propels you forward. The chosen reaches 40 more whole, even without having everything. They understand that abundance isn't about having much, but about needing little and still being at peace. From this point on, God begins to reveal the why behind everything. The people who stayed, those who left, the opportunities that never came to be. Everything begins to make sense. The answers you once sought through tears now appear in the form of silent understanding. Heaven manifests itself through your maturity. The invisible begins to become visible. This awakening also brings new responsibilities. Revelation comes with mission. Now you don't just speak of faith. You become its testimony. God begins to use your story to inspire, heal, and guide others still wandering through the desert. What once hurt you now becomes a tool for healing. At 40, haste gives way to peace. You no longer measure life by external achievements, but by internal growth. You understand that God's promises never expire. They only mature. And when they arrive, they come complete, with no loose ends, no doubts. The time of revelation is the time of fullness, and you were prepared for it. What once felt empty now fills with purpose. The things you lost no longer define you. The ones that remain now make sense. You begin to recognize the value of silence, waiting, and steady faith. Everything God denied you before 40 was just the foundation for what He's now beginning to build. The awakening at 40 is like a spiritual sunrise. After a long night of learning, the sun finally rises within you. The light that was hidden begins to shine brightly. You no longer need to seek approval. You carry purpose. And the world begins to see the reflection of what God has always seen in you. Now, what lies ahead is not a new beginning. It's revelation. Every year lived was a step. Every battle, a seed. And everything blooms when the time is right. The chosen are not born ready. They are refined. And when the awakening comes, no human force can stop the light of a soul trained in darkness. At 40, the chosen stop waiting for miracles and begin to be one. They become the answer. What was once a request now becomes a mission. They understand that God never denied. He only prepared. And now what heaven once promised begins to be fulfilled. The time of revelation has arrived. What was shadow becomes light. Reaching 40 is not the end of a cycle. It is the awakening of someone who has finally understood the purpose of waiting. Everything God denied before was his way of saying, "Not yet. I'm preparing you." Now every loss becomes a lesson, and every pain, a direction. You are wiser, more grounded, more at peace. The time of revelation has arrived. What was hidden within you begins to bloom. God didn't delay you. He aligned you. Now you don't live by haste, but by faith. Everything he promised is being fulfilled. Not when you wanted, but when you were ready. That is the power of spiritual maturity. If this message touched your heart, write in the comments, "I am living the time of revelation." And remember, when God denies, he is protecting. When he delays, he is refining. Follow the channel, share this message, and stay strong. Your awakening has arrived. And what comes now is not the end, but the beginning of your best chapter.